Hello everyone, we are live. Welcome to webinar series by Talent Battle. We are one-stop platform for students preparing for job opportunities. We provide aptitude, technical and interview preparation services for students across India. Till now, we have organized various aptitude and technical webinars through our Talent Battle platform. But along with knowledge, one important thing that drives you for success is getting proper mentorship. So considering this, we have launched a webinar series where the experts from industry will share their experience and guide our students. I am really glad to share with you today that we have Mr. Mahendra Kane sir having a total experience of 16 plus years in industry automation. We are sure that this experience and guidance will surely help our students. So again, I would like to thank you, sir, for giving us a valuable time, and let us start our today's session.
Hi, thanks Shubham. Good morning all of you. I hope my screen is visible
Yes,
and
sir.
my voice is also audible. Okay, so let's start. Today we are going to talk about goal setting. Now, goal setting is one of the most important aspect of any corporate life, as well as for leading a very meaningful and eventful life. So we'll discuss on why really we are talking about goal setting and how do we set goals and how do we achieve that. So let me start with this. My name is Mahendra Kane and I like to help others grow, and I also I'm passionate about reading and self-development, and this newfound passion in lockdown to share my knowledge with others has really it's really important to me, and I thank Talent Battle for giving me platform for doing that. So before we start, a small token of gratitude to all the teachers and all the learnings which I got so far in my experience, and obviously the internet, Google, for giving me lots of images and ideas to create these presentations. So that I think is really making a difference in this. So I only request all of you to, whenever you get some knowledge, please don't hesitate to pass it on. So always pay it forward. So that will really help someone else who is in need of that. So let's talk about goals. So what is a goal basically, and why we are setting goals, right? So goal is something tangible which we want to achieve in life, something which which we can measure and which can have a profound effect on our lives, right? So why we are really setting goals? So first thing is obviously we want something more, right? Maybe a better wealth, better money, a better promotion, for example, or something, let's say better health, right? So anything where when we want to achieve something more, then we always go for setting goals. What really happens is we are, let's say, at level A and we want to go to level B. So that is B is greater than A. Then whenever we are challenging ourselves by setting goals, then definitely no, there is a spark behind achieving that goal. So that goal basically really challenges you a lot for achieving it. Then obviously when we start making goals, when we start creating setting goals, then our decision making also improves, because in order to achieve some goal, we have to first set some decisions, we have to take some decisions. So automatically our goal, because of goal setting, our decision making also improves. Whenever we are achieving goals, then definitely it feels nice at the heart, right, and at the mind. So this improves a lot of self-esteem, which is really important to be more successful in life. So just by setting some small goals and then gradually increasing number of goals, you can really improve on or work on your own self-esteem. Another thing which I have found is whenever we are achieving new goals and definitely setting bigger goals and then even achieving those, then our confidence also starts increasing. Okay, so these are basically few things, and that's why I feel goals are very important. Goal is basically nothing but a reality and a bridge between the reality and your dream. So like, I want to become rich, but then whether I'm becoming rich or not is ultimately decided by what kind of goals I'm setting, right? Or I want to reduce weight, so that can be my dream or my wish. But then if I set a proper goal and a proper action plan, then definitely I can work towards that, right? So goal is nothing but a bridge, the first step which we are taking to achieve a desired result, right? So it's a bridge between dream and reality. Now, how do we set the goals? So there are a lot of methods of setting goals, but the one which I have found very interesting and very innovative is a SMART goal. So in my previous webinars also, I talked about setting SMART goals and how they can help you. So just a quick recap of what is a SMART goal. So this SMART is the abbreviation for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound, right? So any goal which you are setting, any action plan you are making, it should have all these elements: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So let's understand what is that. So specific is something very, very clear, crisp understanding, right? I want to become rich is not a specific thing, right? I want to earn, let's say 10 crore rupees, 100 crore rupees, for example, is can be a definition of becoming rich by money, right? So the goal has to be specific. Unless you have specific goal, you will not have specific results. Okay. Second is measurable. So whenever we are talking about something crystal clear, but we should also have some way to basically measure it, right? So having a 10 crore is my target, for example, or let's say I have a sales target of 100 crores. So that is a measurable achievement or measurable criteria for achieving a goal. Next is achievable. It should not be completely out of the sky. Obviously, there are major benefits of setting bigger goals, setting lofty goals, which we will discuss in coming slides. But whenever we are setting goals, they should first be achievable, at least to your mind, right? Okay. Let's say I want to achieve 50% salary increase in 1 year or 6 months. That may not be an achievable goal for me, but just for sake of the setting the goal, if I'm setting that goal, then it may not be right one, right? So start small, start believing yourself, and gradually when you are putting more and more goals, setting more and more goals, you can put a little bit more lofty goals, right? So at least to begin with, your goals should look achievable. Then they should be realistic, they should be relevant to your life, right? I want to go to moon may not be my goal today. Maybe someone who is aspiring to become an astronaut, it can be a goal for that person, right? But someone who is not interested in that and just I want to set some goal, so that is not really relevant for your life. So relevance is also very important. And then last but not least, time bound. So unless the goal is time bound, it has really no meaning, right? I want to earn 10 crore, but when? Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after 10 years, after 20 years, 30 years. So if that time binding is not there, then that goal actually wavers a lot. Okay. So these 5 things are extremely important. Your goal has to be specific, then measurable. It should be achievable, believable, right? Irrelevant, and then it should be time bound, right? So any goal which is fitting into this category is always called as a SMART goal. So if we start setting these SMART goals, maybe small one at start, but then gradually bigger. So that will really help a lot of us, all of us, to achieve a lot. Now let's go into deeper of these SMART goals. So first thing we talked about SMART is specific, right? So any goal which is vague will always give you a vague result. Okay, it will not have a very clear cut understanding of what is really required. So some example is like I want to get better, but get better from what, or get better to what, right? I want to work harder, I want to learn more, right? I want to achieve my goals, right? But unless you set a proper goal, then what are you really achieving? I want to pay attention. Many times we say that I want to become a great listener, but unless we are deciding what exactly I want to listen and what exactly I don't want to listen, that is, unless that clarity is there, then this vagueness will not help you at all. So some examples like I want to earn more salary, or I want to retire comfortably, right? It's a very nice to have goal. Many people talk about what do you want to do in life. That I want to retire comfortably, right? But what exactly is your definition of retiring comfortably, which is really important. Another goal is I want to become healthy, but what is the benchmark of that healthiness, whether it in terms of weight, in terms of body mass indices, or whatever, maybe reduce cholesterol, anything. But unless you are specifically deciding or specifically understanding what exactly I want to achieve by this goal, then that goal has really no meaning. Another thing is I want to buy my own house, right? So where you are presently, where you want to buy your house, what is your target, how much money you have. Unless you have this clarity, these goals have really no meaning, right? So always remember that any vague goal, if you are deciding, right, any unspecific goal which you are deciding, it will always result into unspecified results or vague results. Okay. Another thing is, unless we are making that goal measurable, however great goal that is, however big goal that is, it has really no value. So in industrial automation or in industry, we talk about setting key performance indices or KPI. Okay. So KPIs basically are goals, or the benchmarks against which we measure our own performance, right? So we should start setting KPIs in our own life also. For example, the same goals which we discussed earlier. Now, if I'm bringing some more clarity, right? Presently my salary is 12 lakhs per annum per year, and then I want to go to 15 lakhs, right? That can be a more clear goal, more specific goal, and more measurable goal. Another thing is retirement corpus. I want to earn 10 crore when I retire. Next is buy a 2 BHK flat in Mumbai. That can be a very, very clear goal. Let's say if I am living in Mumbai and I want to go for buying a flat, then obviously I have to decide how big the flat I want, what is the price range, where I want to buy a flat, right? So buying a flat, let's say in Vashi, may be more expensive than buying a flat in, let's say, Airoli, for example, or Thane, it is more expensive. So I should be clear where I want to buy, what I want to buy, correct? How much I want to buy. Another thing is bringing down the weight from 70 kg to 75 kg to, let's say, 70 kg. That is a more meaningful goal, more measurable goal, correct? Like the way we talk about in our curriculum also, that I want to pass with, let's say, 70% of percentage, correct? So that is more realistic goal, right? Or let's say I want to become first, I want to get the first rank in university. That can be again a specific and measurable goal, right? So problem is really not setting, or problem is not that goals are big, goals are lofty. Problem is they are many times they are invisible and unmeasurable. So anything which you can't measure, which you really can't achieve, as simple as that. So whenever you're talking about setting goals, you should also think about proper measurement of those goals. What is the performance which I'm expecting out of that goal. Next is the time bound characteristics of a goal. So unless you have a deadline, your goal will just be another dream, right? It will just it will just go away after some time, because you are not really binding it with some time, correct? So in earlier slides we saw that we put some measurables or deliverables to those goals, but we did not put any timeline, correct? So unless I have a timeline, it is very difficult for me to get motivated. So increase my yearly salary. Today I am in 2020 and my salary is 12 lakhs. So going in 2022 and earning 15 lakhs looks quite achievable, right? So if I put some deadline, put some timeline before that, then definitely that goal will really help us a lot. Okay. Another thing is, I am today 2020. I just started working, and in another 30 years I want to retire. So if I put the deadline of 2050, year 2050, then definitely that can be a driving force for me to achieve the desired goal, right? Another thing is, I am weighing 75 kg today, and I want to become 70 kg, let's say after 6 months or 1 year. So that again brings more clarity, what kind of things I should do, what kind of exercise I should do, and what kind of diet I should have. So that automatically all this thoughts start coming together, right? So specific we talked about, measurable you talked about, and then time bound. This is very important. So these three things put together, your goals can become very perfect and very more realistic, right? So let's move on to the next part, which is realizing the goal, or defining whether really my goal is worth or not, correct, for my own self. So as I said earlier, there is no harm in dreaming big dreams. But then if your dream is too high, let's say I want to earn 1,000 crores, by my retirement, and if I am just a clerk in a bank, or just a small executive in some firm, then I at least I don't feel that I can earn 1,000 crores. So that is a too big dream for me, correct? So when we are dreaming or when we are setting goals, we should have some clarity, some realisticness behind those goals. So dreaming big dream is very important, no doubt about it. But whatever goals you are setting out of those dreams, those should be more realistic, right? That those should be more understandable, or convincible to your own mind. Unless you are convinced by your goals, no one else is going to achieve that, correct? You are not going to achieve the same, right? So for example, expecting 50% salary hike in a year, very rarely you can get something like this, right? Unless you are really talented and you are jumping to a big company, then some things can happen. But again, 50-60% salary hike is just not possible, right? Then let's say I want to run a marathon. I want to run 20 kilometers in marathon, in Mumbai marathon, for example, and I don't do anything. Just 1 week before I wake up, and I decide I want to run a marathon. Then physically your body is not really strong enough, not really ready enough to run a marathon, right? So if we are setting such unrealistic goal, we will end up ultimately harming ourselves only. If you are just doing a 1 week preparation for marathon and you have no experience earlier in running a marathon, then ultimately your body is going to be harmed, right? Again, another thing is, we don't study at all, and we just study 1 week or 1 month before, and we want to come first in university. That is also another foolish goal, or very unrealistic goal. So what happens is, if we are setting goals, let's say you hear me today and you decide you want to set goals, and you start setting some really lofty goals, which at back of your mind that you can't achieve that. And then obviously what will happen is you can start getting demotivated. You can, those goals will start bogging you down. Then you will lose the interest in achieving that goal. So again, setting big goals is very important, but setting too big goal is sometimes not advisable at all. Okay. Now, exactly the corollary or the opposite part of setting big goals is setting small goals. Let's say I want to reduce my weight from 75 to 70 kg. So for that, my doctor tells me that I should do a proper diet and I should at least do 30 minutes of workout, something like that. So day one, I start with 5 minutes of workout, right? So that's setting a very, very small goal for myself. Let's say I want to start doing Surya Namaskar. Okay. So setting a big goal is doing 50 Surya Namaskar in one day, on the first day. Obviously your body is not really ready for that. But at the same time, starting with just one Surya Namaskar is also very, very low aim. Correct? So not the failure, failure is not really matters, but the low aim is always a crime, right? You might have heard this. So this is the greatest danger for most of us, is that we are, aiming too low and we are easily reaching it, and we think that we are a great goal setters, right? So that's not the point. We should set some goals or something better which can really excite us and motivate us to do that, right? So maybe starting with a 6 Surya Namaskar or 12 Surya Namaskar on day one, it's quite an achievable goal, and it will also feel excitable to you also, and your body will also not complain too much, right? So setting easy goals, and you should always understand what is an achievable goal, what is an unrealistic goal, and what is a very, very easy goal. If you understand that, and if you set, you strive for achievable goals, then definitely your life will change a lot. Okay. So just to give clarity on the SMART goals, the specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, or relevant, and time bound goals. So what is really important is we should set goals which fulfill all these criteria. Only then that goal can become SMART, and then it can really fulfill your destiny, right? Will fulfill your dreams. So you have to really set goals that are almost out of reach. Correct. So don't aim for too high. If you're not very conversant with setting goals, then there is really no point in setting too high a goal and then not achieving it and then getting demotivated. But set out little bit extra goal every day, and then you can really attain a lot of things, right? As I said, a goal should be excitable to you, right? And it should not demotivate you. It should scare you a little, right? But then it should not really demotivate you at all. Then there is no fun in achieving that goal. Next is, start setting incremental goals, or start setting small goals on top of each other. That will really help you a lot. And once you are comfortable with some level of a goal, then start next time setting a little bit bigger goal, then bigger goal, etc. So that will really help you a lot in long term, right? And again, see, many times what happens is we set some goals and we do some planning, and then those plans don't work. So what we do is we simply get rid of the goal itself. But there are a lot of different ways to achieve a certain goal by changing your plans. So the key is really that we should not change the goals, but we should alter our plans to get near to the goal, right? So whenever we are setting specific goals, measurable goals, realistic, achievable, time bound, we should always think of all these parameters. Okay. Now, let me give you some good thoughts on how do we set goals, and what has really helped me in my goal setting, and how it can be helpful for you. So some thoughts from my end on setting goals. First is, see, everyone's life is unique to them. Correct. My goal may not be same as my friend's goal, right? Or maybe my goal may not be same as my child's goal. Correct. So we, as in we are the sculptor of our own life, then we should really decide what is really important for myself and my life. Correct. So every goal is individual, every goal is unique for ourselves, and then we should really understand and focus and prioritize on which goal is really important to achieve, right? So the key is really not to prioritize what is on your schedule or what are the different goals, but you should first decide what are your priorities in life, right? In terms of, let's say, earning money, getting healthier, getting promoted, for example, some thoughts. So we should first decide what is really important for us, and then we should set goals accordingly, right? Not the other way around. Don't just set goals just for sake of setting goals. Another thing is, there is a very nice Venn diagram I found on net. So which talks about the things which really matter to you, and at the same time things which you can control, right? And wherever they intersect with each other, that is where you should focus on. This is where you should set your goals, right? So things which you can't control, there is really no point in setting any goal because of that, or on top of that, right? So to illustrate this more, I have a very nice concept of circle of influence and circle of concern. Okay, it's a very revolutionary thought given by Stephen Covey, a very well-known writer. So what he talks about is basically we have, everyone's life has a circle of concern and a circle of influence. So what is a circle of concern basically? So anything which is not in our control. See, for example, COVID-19, right? So the spread of COVID-19, India is rapidly catching US today, these days, that, it has already surpassed Russia and other things. No, we just read those news and then we get scared, right? We talk, some players are playing cricket and we are talking about them endlessly, and then, speculating who will win and who will not win. Many times we think that, I am presenting this webinar right now and what these guys are thinking about me. If I start doing that, then, I am more concerned about that thought, and I will really not start paying attention to what I want to talk about you, right? Other thing is other success, for example, or recession. It's a very good another example of circle of concern, where we are as an individual are not really adding any value or anything which is causing the recession. We are just victims of the recession, right? We are just victims of this COVID-19. We are victims of this bad weather, etc., right? Or not a good crop. So these things are all which are not in our control are always called as circle of concerns, right? So what is opposite to that, which is the circle of influence? Now, instead of thinking about what others are thinking about me or what others opinion is about me, if I start working on my behavior, if I am a short-tempered guy, so I realize that and I take conscious efforts to reduce that short-temperedness, I become more balanced, more acceptable to others, then that is really going to help me a lot, right? I want to become rich, but then there is a recession and there is COVID-19, there are so many problems, right? I am not a very good investor, etc., etc., whatever. But instead of thinking like that, if I start investing some fixed amount of money from my salary, automatically I will start building my wealth, right? Then another thing is, if I don't learn anything new out of my curriculum, out of my my work, or maybe from internet, etc., then I have no right to complain that someone else, my colleague is getting promotion and I am not getting promoted, right? So circle of influence basically talks about things which you can control. And this is the exact area where you have to focus on yourself and then start setting goals, right? So always remember that circle of influence is the area where we are supposed to set all our goals in life. So our first understanding should be what I can do to change my life, and then I set goals according to that, right? If I am very poor today, let's say, and I want to become rich, then it is in my hands and only in my hands that I should start saving, start investing, see different avenues of getting more income, maybe change a job, etc., etc., which no one else can do on your behalf, right? They can maybe inspire you, they can help you, but they will not change anything in your life. It is only your ability, your responsibility to get the change done, right? So always set and achieve goals in your area of circle of influence, right? Not someone else. Okay. So talking about area of influence or circle of influence, what are those areas which in our life which can contribute to goal settings, right? So one is very clear, financials, very tangible. I want to earn some X money, right? 10 crore, 15 crores, 20 crores, like that, something like that. Next is career. Obviously, I am let's say I'm a executive today. I want to become manager in 4 years. I want to get promoted. Maybe I want to become a CEO after 20 years, something like that. Some goals related to your career, or maybe I want to start my own business. Next is family. So I want to have more work-life balance. I want to give more time to my family, right? I want to make my child a better person, something like that. So any goals which are related to your family well-being, then definitely these are your own goals. Then spiritual goals, not many people talk about it, but this is also one of the most important areas in our life. So, unless we are happy, unless we have a peace of mind, unless we have work-life balance, right? Unless we are spiritually grown, then life is really not important too much, correct? We earn a lot of money, but then if we are not happy at core of our heart, or in our mind, if we are not having that balance in our life, then this really has no other meaning, right? So there are a lot of spiritual things which you can do. You can do meditation, right? You can join some kind of clubs and other things. So, so to understand, you can read a lot of books to understand about this topic. So you can do many things in spiritual area of our life also. Another thing is social. So let's say like a person like me who is very introvert by nature. So I set a goal in lockdown that I want to become more social. So I started my Facebook, for example. I started creating such kind of webinars. I started reaching out to different people. So that is one of the goals which I set in my lockdown time, right? So becoming social, or doing something for your society, paying it forward, teaching others, right? Mentoring others, that can be goals into social lives. And then ultimately health, because without health nothing is important in life. So health obviously is quite closely linked to the spiritual also, right? So a wealth, a proper health and a proper mind can really help you a lot of to gain a lot in your life, right? So health, very simple things like bringing down the weight, or becoming more healthy in terms of reduce cholesterol and other things, getting rid of your long term diseases, like let's say I have asthma, for example, so I want to get rid of that. Or I have, let's say, specs, I want to get rid of that, etc. So this can be a specific goals which can be related to your health. Okay, so always remember that it is your life, and you have to take charge, and no one else can set goals for your life. We should identify what kind of areas in our lives are and how we can improve those areas by setting meaningful goals, right? Now once we decide different goals, then what we should do is basically start with an action plan, right? So a dream, we are just thinking and we are not doing anything, not taking any action, will always remain just a dream, right? So dream written down with a date will become a goal, correct? A goal broken down into steps become an action plan. So let's say I want to earn 10 crore rupees by 2050. So I can't do that, in just one night. I have to plan how much, I have to do a budgeting, how much money I am earning today, how much I can save today, how much investment I can do today, right? So these are called as breaking down the goals, correct? And then you create a plan. And a plan, obviously, if you keep on doing that plan, implementing that plan, sticking to the plan, then it will more, eventually it will become a proper reality, right? So writing down the action plan is one of the most important steps once you decide on your goals. Okay. Now, as I said, breaking down goals into smaller smart goals. So let me give example of myself. I wanted to buy a house in Mumbai, right? And the prices are of houses in Mumbai are horrible. They are extremely high wherever you want to go, right? So what I did was, I wanted to buy a bigger house. I wanted to buy a 2 BHK flat, but the rates were very high when I started checking that. So what I did, I settled for a 1 BHK flat first, right? And then I bought that flat, I renovated it. In 3-4 years, I sold that. Whatever money I got, I again went for a 2 BHK flat, right? So if I had stuck with 2 BHK flat always, then it may not have been possible for me to buy a 2 BHK flat so fast, right? So when I started breaking down my goals, it really helped me to reach the to believe in myself that I can get a 1 BHK flat. Definitely I have enough money and I can get enough loan from that. Then I knew that the prices in Mumbai are always on high, house prices. Then definitely when I sell that flat, I will get more money, and then I can buy even bigger flat, right? So I did it, and believe me, it worked wonders. And just in matter of 4 or 5 years, I could go for a bigger flat, right? So breaking down goals into smaller smart goals can really help you a lot, right? Now another thing, many people are stuck is they want to have a perfect plan. I want to do the best thing. I will not settle for anything else. But this is the thinking is not bad, absolutely not bad. But the problem comes is we don't take any actions just by giving excuse of perfection. Okay, let's say a person who is a sculptor, who is making a nice idol, let's say of Ganpati. Okay, and we have this Ganesh Chaturthi now near, I think in August somewhere. So if that person is behind perfection, then not a single idol will be sold from his end, because he will always try to find some problem in that murti, so in that idol, and then he will try to perfect it, right? So a good enough work is also accepted by many people, right? Very few people really want perfection, and then obviously there is a different line altogether for becoming perfect, right? But then that perfection should not come in between your progress, right? Setting a goal for having a perfect idol is absolutely fine, but then at the end of the day, if you want to survive in your business, you have to also sell something, right? If you are not selling anything just because you are not able to make a perfect thing, then obviously your business is going to be doomed, correct? So my I always believe that if you are focusing on good enough things, then obviously there is always a scope to do a perfection. Maybe I am not able to make the best murti or best idol in year one, but maybe down the line, maybe after 10 years, 12 years, I can start making each and everything nearly perfect, right? There is nothing called as completely perfect, 100% perfect, because again, the perception of perfection is always different for different people, right? So a good plan which is implemented today, it may not be the best plan which is important for my life, but a good enough plan using which I can start something, right? And then it is always in my hand to make that plan perfect and then improve on that plan, right? To make that plan even better. So don't let the perfection stop you from doing something, starting something, right? This is what I want to tell you. Another thing when we are setting goals is we do a lot of procrastination, or we tend to postpone things in future, right? So what is procrastination? Basically, we are not, we let's say I have decided to buy a house, but then at back of mind I think that maybe the day is not right. Okay, right? I don't have money. मेरे को bank loan देगा क्या? For example, right? What will happen if something goes wrong? So because of so many reasons, we just tend to avoid the taking decision, right? So that is called as procrastination. So you can just imagine that if I had stuck to my plan of 2 BHK, maybe that time the house was costing some 60 lakh rupees before 8-9 years in Mumbai, in where I am living now, right? And I did not have that much money. But if I had only stuck to that 2 BHK plan, then I wouldn't have even bought my 1 BHK house and then ultimately 2 BHK house, right? So taking some action is very important when we are setting goals and basically creating action plan, right? So unless we if we simply procrastinate, then nothing will start, and then obviously nothing will end also. You will not be able to achieve any goal at all, right? So always be aware of this procrastination. It is your biggest enemy in goal setting and achieving your desired results. Okay. uh, Many people have tried many things in life, right? So it is not really important to reinvent the wheel every time and learn everything on your own, right? You learn a lot of things from your own mistakes. You learn a lot of things from others' mistakes also, right? So learn from that. Books are one of the best ways to understand what kind of mistakes people have already made and how they have benefited by accepting those mistakes and then resolving the problems, right? So you can read a lot, and then you need not do the same mistake which the other person has already done, which is universally known, right? So there is really no point to reinvent the wheel every time, but then you should also learn from others' mistakes. Another thing is, when we are setting goals, we should not be very rigid about achieving those goals, right? So goal is very important. We should have clarity what I want to do. But if plan A doesn't work, then I should be willing to go to plan B, right? Or if the goal is too big, maybe I can reduce the goal amount itself, that measurable thing itself. So we have to be very, very flexible, very, very clear about how I want to achieve the goal. Another thing is, just by setting goals, your job is not over. You would also review the goals, what kind of things are going wrong presently in my action plan, and how I can improve those things, right? So reviewing and readjusting goals is really, really important, right? So what happens is, basically when we start taking a review of our goal and then we don't like the way we are today, so we should not do review only just to beat ourselves up, right? We should review the goals basically to understand what is going wrong and how I can improve on this action plans. That is the main agenda behind reviewing the goals, right? Just imagine that reviewing is basically a closed loop method. For example, you just close your eyes and you are told to walk a straight line, right? Many of you won't be able to do that, right, unless we have proper practice. So a review obviously will review something like we open our eyes and we are seeing where we are walking. If the line is not straight, then because our eyes and our mind are aligned, then we are able to walk straight, correct? So the review exactly is like a closed loop way of understanding where we are today in terms of goal, against the goal and where we want to reach and how fast or how slow we are reaching. What is the progress of our goal? So review is extremely important to understand and to judge the review or the progress of your goals. Okay. Now this thing which I really, I think one of the best things to do when you're setting goals and achieving is doing something extra, right? So, let's say I want to reduce my weight and I start with, let's say 6 Surya Namaskar to start with exercise. Maybe tomorrow, or the day after, I will start with 8 Surya Namaskar, 10 Surya Namaskar, 12 Surya Namaskar, right? So gradually I am letting my body be comfortable with the exercise regime, which I am doing. And then I am little bit adding extra every day so that my goals are also getting faster, achieving faster. And then I am also feeling comfortable. If I start on day one with 12 Surya Namaskar, my body may not react so well. So I started with 6 and maybe by end of the week, I am now very conversant with how the way I should do Surya Namaskar. And then I started 12 by end of the week, right? Every day. So doing something extra every day, which will really help you reaching your goals faster, right? Another example is, every year our salary increase, correct? And let's say you are doing some investment. Let's say I am spending, let's say 10,000 rupees every month in investing in mutual funds. Okay. Now this year my salary has increased by 10%. Example. So instead of putting 10,000 rupees, if I start putting 12,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees in my mutual funds, then automatically, whatever I wanted to achieve by end of my career or start of my retirement, maybe I can reach that goal earlier because I am now doing some incremental increase in my goals, right? Instead of investing 10,000 rupees every month, now I have started putting 12,000 rupees, right? So you might have heard about this incremental SIPs. It's a lot of marketing gimmicks these guys do. So this is one of the major things which they are focusing these days. That whatever you're investing, if you start putting some incremental targets with respect to your salary increase, or let's say you get some bonus, etc., then automatically you are investing that additional money, which was not really part of the plan earlier. But then it will really help you to reach your goals faster, right? So doing something extra every day for reaching your bigger goals, then definitely it will help you a lot to reach those goals very faster. Okay. Now, one of the best tools for achieving goals is affirmation and visualization. Okay. So what is really affirmation? Affirmation, the term affirm is a positive term in English, right? Which you keep on repeating. So something repetitive work which is done positively, like I want to earn 10 crore rupees. If I keep on telling that to myself, I want to double my salary in 8 years, right? So this is my goal, for example. I keep on telling myself day and night. I am just standing in front of the mirror and I am telling that I am earning double salary by 2024, for example, right? Or my weight is 70 kg. I am more fit. I am more lean. I am more healthy. I have a lot of peace of mind. So these are some affirmations which, if you can keep on repeating day in, day out, whenever you have time with yourself, then automatically your mind, your heart also starts becoming in line with those affirmations, and then your goals will also start improving, or the achievements also start getting faster, right? So the tool affirmation is extremely powerful, right? I give example. I wanted to learn driving a car. So by doing affirmation, I could do it very fast. Obviously, I had to go to a class. There was no shortcut about that. But getting the confidence to drive a car in traffic, to drive a car in hilly areas, right? It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of mental stiffness, right? Mental stability. So by doing this affirmation, I am a great driver. I am a great driver. I kept on telling myself whenever I was driving, whenever I was having a bath, whenever I was just sitting idle, I was just thinking that I am a great driver. I drive car very beautifully. Automatically it came to my hands, and my complete body started reacting to that, and I become a really great driver, right? I'm not obviously driving Formula 1 and all, but at least I am a very responsible driver, and I am not making any accidents. That is, I think, more important for me. Now, a big brother of affirmation is visualization. So whatever you are affirming, let's say I am a great driver. If I also close my eyes, and in my eye of the mind, if I see that I am driving in hilly area or in lot of traffic without any increased blood pressure or something. I am very calm and very quiet and driving my car. If I start visualizing that, automatically the reality will also start happening, right? So whenever I'm stuck in traffic, instead of yelling at my co-passenger or yelling at the traffic in general, I will simply remember that I was visualizing like this, right? Everything is calm and quiet, and I really don't want to increase my blood pressure, just something which is not in my control, right? Again, a traffic is your circle of concern. You can't control that, you are just victim of that, right? So there is really no point in shouting at other guys because traffic is very high. You have to be calm and quiet, and then just let the things, maybe change the route, or don't go for drive at all. Something which is in your hand you can do, right? So the point is basically, when you start affirming and visualizing positive thoughts, those really start coming in your way in long term, right? So any goals which you want to achieve, start doing this affirmation and visualization. It will really help you in long term. One of the most important things after you set goals, after you decide what kind of goals you want to set, after you make an action plan, many goals don't start, or many achievements don't come at all, just because people don't start, right? So however small action you want to take, start. I think starting is the most important thing in any achievement. Unless you start, you have a very excellent plan. Unless you do that, the reality will never happen, right? So dream big, no doubt about that. Dreaming big is extremely important. Thinking big is very important. But start small. Start something. Unless you start that, you will really not able to achieve that, right? So I want to run the marathon of 20 kilometers, and if I start visualizing affirmation, I'm doing that, I'm running, something like that. I set my goals, but I really don't wake up in morning, and then I start jogging, or I start covering the distance for at least, run 5 kilometers, something like that. Then nothing is going to happen, right? It will just remain in our dreams. It will just remain in our mind that I want to do this, right? But when you complete your first 5 kilometer run, then your confidence will start increasing. Then you will start with aiming for 6 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, and then 20 kilometers. Then this process becomes gradually very interesting, correct? So on day one, if I just decide to run 20 kilometers, I have to be in hospital after some time, because my body is not accustomed to run so much, correct? So dream big, no doubt about it. Dreaming big is extremely important, but then you have to start, right? The starting is the most important, or the most crucial phase in any goal setting and achievement. Okay. Another thing is, focusing on journey is extremely important, right? Not a destination. So I have, like, I give example of this webinar, for example, and I created on my, I also started a YouTube channel 1 month back on 1st July, and I set some target that I will put 4-5 videos at least. So when I look back, I had already done 7 videos, and then this process of creating those videos, webinars, was very interesting. Coming out with such topics like goal setting or self-management or organizational culture was very interesting for me. And then, when I decided that I want to do these sessions, then what kind of thoughts I should have, what kind of presentations I should make, what kind of images I should put, what kind of quotes I should put, right? So this was the journey of visualizing my presentations, and then actually creating presentation in Microsoft PowerPoint, and then ultimately delivering in front of the crowd, right? E-crowd, you can say, virtually. So I feel the process of journey, or the journey, is really important than the destination, right? At the end of the day, I am not much happy, or obviously I feel nice that I have delivered this webinar. But apart from that, or in spite of that, I really, what matters to me is how I approach this webinar, how I decided to do 5 series of webinars with Team Talent Battle, and then how I did that, how I created presentations. That really makes a difference, right? So I believe the journey is more important than the destination, right? Because you are doing a lot of things, you're thinking out of the box. You are doing lot many things which you really did not think earlier. Those things you're doing, and that really creates a difference in your life, correct? When I am creating such presentations, I am also learning along with you, right? Correct. So journey is very important, and ultimately destination will, there is no option for the destination to come, correct, but to come. So journey is very important. So I always feel that joy is found in really doing that journey, and not reaching to some destination. So to summarize, basically, what we discussed today. So we have to first prioritize our life. We have to first see what is really important in our lives, right? Our goals are only purely uniquely our goals, not everyone else goals, anyone else goals. So be clear what you want to achieve in life, set goals, make plans, right? Get to the work. Very important, starting some work. Another thing is sticking to it, right? We should not just leave it after some time, correct? And then obviously when you reach the goal, when you complete that journey, you're really happy that you have achieved some significant thing. You're really thought out of the box, and you redefined yourself as a new person, because you never knew that you would do these things, right? 2 months back, if I had someone had asked me whether you will have your own YouTube channel and you will be doing some kind of webinars like this, I would have laughed, because I never thought I would do like this, right? But just one day it clicked, and then I decided to do it. That was the dream. And then I wrote down my dreams, and then I took very, very concrete steps and created presentations, contacted Talent Battle, and then we agreed to do this webinar series, etc. So this was a complete journey, and that journey I think is more enjoyable than coming to end of this webinar series. So do set goals and achieve that. That is really important, and it will really make your life completely different. You will be a far better human being than what you were earlier, right? So that's it from my side, and I always believe that we should have willingness to change and take actions to change when there is still a chance. Thank you. Over to you, Shubham.
Yes, yes, sir. So that was really a motivational session, I would say.
Thanks.
At the end, I would like to say that yes, dreams will just remain dreams unless you start with your realistic like hard work and all those things. So at the end, I would like to thank you, sir, for giving such a motivational session. I'm sure that our students will really help get help from this session, and they will really work on that. At the end, I would like to thank all the students for being there and attending this workshop. So thank you, sir, for being there. Thank you.
My pleasure.